Okay, I wanted to give it a shot here, and just so you know, young Buck is in the background playing video games. This is pretty much a live test just to see if I upload a video, how it changes everything. In this one, I'm going to talk about Hillary Clinton a little bit. I just fielded a question on a friend of mine's post about what I thought needed to be done in this next election cycle, 2020, for the president of the United States, in order for Democrats, independents to take the presidency back from Donald Trump at this point. What they would need to do to make that happen. And in the course of that conversation, we started talking about how Hillary Clinton actually, how what she did and didn't do relates to how the Democrats and independents should act now in order to retake the presidency, and then of course to take both both the House and the Senate. Honestly, I think you can ride both of those that way. And first, let's start by talking about what's going on as far as Donald Trump's base, as far as voters are concerned. Let's do that first. First, let's get this out of the way. I don't think you have to worry about Donald Trump's base at all. His base is not a concern for anyone. The man lost by 3 million plus votes in the popular voting aspect. However, he won through the Electoral College. And essentially, that's a technicality. That's how Republicans have taken 4 out of the last 5 of the elections that they've actually won, all through the Electoral College. What's happening there is middle America is pissed. They feel like they've been left behind. They feel like no one's paying attention to them. No one's looking out for them. That's why farmers went nuts. People were like, you know what? Hillary Clinton is not for us. The Democrats, not for us. Regular Republicans, not for us. If you remember, I think that field of Republicans was 16 or 17 strong. And a career real estate man, a career entertainer, overtook career politicians. And all that really happened there is people didn't want a politician anymore. Hillary Clinton, quite frankly, if we, and I've said this 1,000 times already, if we rated politicians the way they do in video games, like say NBA 2K, 2K19 or NBA Live 19, if we rated politicians in that manner on a scale from say 1 to 99, 99 being the highest rating that you can have, I think Hillary Clinton, quite honestly, would rate a 97 to a 99 as one of the best politicians, one of the top politicians in the history of the country. And that's saying a lot, considering her husband also rates very high. John Kennedy, very high. People like that, very high as politicians. The problem is the country didn't want a politician anymore. And when that happens, it's not his base that helped him to win. It was independents and people that didn't vote at all. People got so pissed, they were like, you know what? My choices are evil and eviler. Evil being Hillary Clinton, eviler being Donald Trump. I'm just not going to vote. Don't do that. People were also thinking, my choices are career politician who's going to keep everything the same way it's always been. They don't want that. Or someone who's going to shake things up. They were like, you know what? If they shake it up, what's the worst that can happen? And then this happened. Yeah, don't do that. So I don't think you have to worry so much about what his base is concerned with. His base is almost non-existent, really. It's a very vocal base, and they're well-versed. I mean, a lot of them are Tea Party people. Again, another disruptive group. They're very well based. They're very well versed in how to shake it up and how to make it a solid impact from a small. They're guerrilla warfare people. And if you want to win, you have to A, learn how to fight with guerrilla warfare in politics. You have to B, come with good ideas. You have to C, hit them in such a way that it makes sense. You have to come with common sense. If you know anything about me, I mean, if you check me out on Facebook, it's facebook.com/, what is it, Adiago the Dragon. So my tagline there is common sense should be contagious. That's what you have to hit these people with, common sense. Step one, start in 2020, start this election cycle by outlining every time you speak, you should talk about and show with video, because this is 2019. There's video of this right now. You can actually show video of Donald Trump contradicting himself, of Donald Trump lying repeatedly. It's not like the 80s or the 70s or even really the 90s where that kind of thing was not readily available. This is readily available. You can show him contradicting himself in the same paragraph, in the same interview, etc., etc., etc. Hammer on that. Show the things he's done before. So show him on the plane saying, you know what, Stormy who? Never slept with her. Don't even know who she is. And then show him once, and then right after that, show Rudy Giuliani going, yeah, we paid her because of the campaign. And then show Donald Trump reversing that and going, yeah, I did that. And you hammer that repeatedly. You show him cozying up to Kim Jong-un. You show him cozying up to Vladimir Putin. You show him cozying up to Duterte out in the Philippines. And then you contrast that with actual, whether they be conservative leaders from other countries like Angela Merkel, or whether they be centrist leaders from other countries like Macron out in France, or whoever else. And you show how he looks at those people, how he speaks about those people versus how he speaks about dictators and bad men. You keep repeatedly showing the Charlotte situation. See, the independents that are not part of his base, they want to separate themselves from that. While you're doing that, so you can't only focus on those things. While you're doing that, and this is where Hillary Clinton really comes into play here. When she ran, she was arrogant. She flew right near the sun. She was very arrogant. She didn't go to places like Wisconsin. She didn't have a ground game in places like Wisconsin. She didn't pay attention to places like Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota. That wasn't in her playbook. And those people voted for the other guy. A, they didn't like her in the first place. She speaks down to them. She speaks down about them. She speaks down to everybody. B, they didn't, places like West Virginia. What happened when she went to coal country? Really? What happened when she went to coal country? She said, we're going to eliminate coal. Okay, that's what the guy that you're talking to, right? The young guy, that's what he does. That's what his father does. That's what his grandfather did. That's what his grandfather's father did. So when you're talking to those people, you're talking about eliminating the one thing that has put food on their table for generation after generation after generation. If you're going to do that, you can't just drop the ball at that point. Mic drop. We're just going to end coal. No, we're going to end coal. And then the crowd's going to go, but what we're going to do instead, and see, here's where, when they talk about leftist elite, technically I'd be part of that Ivy League guy. No. When they talk about leftist elite, they're talking about it because they want to say, hey, those college educated people, they want to eliminate the little guy. So she needs to follow up. We're going to eliminate coal with a plan that includes this. We're going to bring trade schools to this area. And the first people put into those trade schools will be anyone who wants to learn something besides coal. And that something is solar and wind. Benefits of solar. It's infinite. Not quite infinite, but infinite as far as our lifetime is concerned. By the time the sun burns out and it's a problem, we're probably millions of years in the future here. And we'll have other sources of energy, hopefully. But either way, it's an unlimited source of energy where the initial cost is in putting up the panels and really the infrastructure now to deliver that solar power out. Now remember, we paid for electric companies to lay those lines down to bring electricity to homes. Our tax dollars, our subsidy money paid for that. I have no problem using that and going, guess what, guys? We're putting solar on everything. We're backfeeding we're backfeeding every place where we can't put solar. We're gonna put solar panels in towns. We're gonna put solar in municipalities, and we're gonna put solar in municipally owned locations, any unused lots, things like that. Lots that haven't been used in decades. We're gonna demo whatever's there, and we're putting solar panels all over that. If you go around the country now, you'll notice that colleges are using empty fields and empty spaces now for solar gathering. We're going to do that right here in West Virginia. So you're going to, instead of going into a dirty mine and picking up black lung, you're going to install solar in empty fields and then in people's homes. We're going to train you to do this. We're going to pay you to do this. Where does the money for that training come from? Why are we subsidizing ExxonMobil? See, this is the speech that Hillary should have given. Why are we subsidizing ExxonMobil when they make in excess of $20 billion a year? Now, $20 billion sounds like a lot until you consider the fact that ExxonMobil is a global company. We're not responsible for global companies. Just like they have fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, the United States government and municipal governments have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of the United States. We need to do what's best for us. They need to do what's best for them. What's best for us is no longer subsidizing something that's killing us, something that's killing our planet. Right? So what we do instead is we go ahead and we take the subsidy money that we give to these companies and we put it into renewable energy. And what I mean by that is we do some kind of math and division where we put some of those subsidies towards subsidizing new companies that want to come into these areas. Or maybe we just put all of that money into that and we say, okay, if you're going to come into this area in West Virginia, we're going to give you subsidies. Some of those subsidies have to go to trade schools to train people to work in your industry. Now they have a talent pool to pull from, all of those coal miners that are going to be out of work soon. And you don't eliminate coal day one, you phase coal out. And as you're phasing coal out, you're phasing renewables in. See, now those people see a path forward. They no longer have to play football, basketball, baseball to get out of those towns. They can stay in those towns, clean energy, wind, solar. Those are two things that aren't going anywhere. Wind doesn't cause cancer. Wind noise doesn't cause cancer. Solar doesn't kill plants. That's just stupid. You come in here with that plan, you tell people that, and you say, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to ramp that up to where that's what's going on across the country, and you're going to be at the forefront of that. Bang. They're on board. Show them the money. Show them the opportunity. Then you grab those damn votes. And then you actually act on it. Start moving in that direction. That's like step one of the Green New Deal, by the way. You don't have to eliminate these things right away. You phase them out. You phase the other stuff in. You give these people life, hope, and you keep it moving. Now you've taken that Electoral College and the popular vote. It really is just that simple. She didn't do that. Instead, she went in there and said, we're going to take everything that puts food on your table, all the reason that, and then on top of that, get to that in a second, all the reason that your people, that your ancestors, that for generations, you've had people dying of black lung. We're going to take all of that away. So no more black lung, but also no more money. Those people were working hard and braving black lung so they could put food on the table. And you're going to take all of it? Not just eliminate the black lung, but you're going to eliminate the money too? Pause. Don't do that. Instead, we're going to eliminate the black lung and bring new jobs. Whoa! Internet broken. Internet broken. How do you do that? Healthcare for all. Medicare for all. And when you come in with Medicare for all, explain it properly. Yes, we're going to dump your private insurer. You know why? He's the middleman. Screw the middleman. The middleman, every single business person in the country knows. If you can eliminate the middleman, you've automatically saved. Not only are we going to eliminate the middleman, we're going to knock out the middleman, and we're going to make you're going to lose that insurer. You're not going to lose insurance. You're still going to be covered. You're going to have more coverage. And then people are going to say, but the cost. And what she should have gone about and done is said, yes, it's going to cost. I think the study that everybody likes to quote says it's going to cost $34 trillion over 10 years. Mind blown. People go, whoa, no way. Stop. Then you tell them what you're paying now. You're paying $36 trillion right now. So that's a savings of $2 trillion. Okay. And then when people go, well, where's the money going to come from? We're going to add it to your taxes. Right. And you say it just like that. We're going to add it to your taxes. And they're going to go, whoa, we already pay way too much in taxes, but we're going to get rid of your deductibles. Oh, wait a minute. So you mean I'm going to pay more in taxes, but less overall? Dude, you got to pay somebody. Do you care who you really pay as long as you're getting better health care? You're going to pay this guy a whole lot of money. He's sending his kids to college on your dime. And you're paying a ton of dough. Or you can pay this guy over here. You're going to save money. You're going to get better and more coverage, and it's good for everybody in your family. Who would you rather pay, brother? All right? Right now you pay, and to keep the numbers simple, I like to use dumb numbers for this that don't make any sense. When I was selling cars, I did the same thing. I break it down to the damn ridiculous. And people who hated me at first, because I come out and I tell them, look, you're going to pay more than what you want to. Everybody comes in wanting to pay $250 a month, right? $50,000 car, $30,000 car, they want to pay $250 a month. Do the math. When you divide 20,000, right, by 60 months, you're not coming up with $250 unless you're coming up with money down. And once you show them that, they go, okay, that's right. You use their calculator, you have them punch the buttons in, and they go, ooh, that doesn't work. So what can you do, big guy? And I go, listen, here's what we're going to do. I'm not telling you got to get punched in the face, but I'm telling you it can't go like that. In the case of Medicare for all, you know what? We just established from the study that they all like to use. The study they like to use, the very next paragraph after it says that we pay $34 trillion over 10 years. Or I'm sorry, that it'll cost $34 trillion over 10 years. The very next paragraph says, but we right now pay 36. You do the same thing, but you keep it simple. You say, listen, you're paying 100 now, right? You're paying 100 total right now for everything, taxes, everything. All I'm telling you is, right now, you're paying, let's say, $5 a month in taxes, just keeping the numbers down. Your taxes are going to go up to $10 a month. But instead of spending an overall $100 a year, or a month, or however you want to figure it out, you're only going to be paying 90. Bottom line, higher taxes, but lower deductibles, less for drugs, because we'll be negotiating with drug companies, because we have buying power, because we're using the entire country as buying power. What happens when you buy more of something? The price goes down. So that buying power, your nut shrinks. And instead of spending 100, you're spending 90. More taxes, but less every place else. That's how you attack that problem. It's that simple. This isn't rocket science. But the Democrats like to make it hard for you because Democrats are just soft Republicans on the whole. Honestly, the difference between Democrats and Republicans will absolutely rob you blind. Democrats are going to rob you just a little bit there. They're going to rob you a little less blind. They want to rob you just enough. Republicans want to take everything and bleed you dry. Democrats want to take just enough and keep you working so that their pockets keep on getting fat and they stay in power. That's the only difference between the two groups. That's all I'm saying. This isn't rocket science. 2020 can be won just like that. He's heating up. I'm out.